So in this video, we're just going to continue with drawing 8 orthographics and 3D by drawing the same objects we just finished in AutoCAD, where we drew the 3 ortho views from worksheet 7. We did objects C and D, and now we're in SketchUp and we're going to draw object C to begin with here. So just a few things going on here in our view. I have the edge style, the face style at X-ray, and we have some toolbars up. We have our getting started toolbars, which is up here. We have our large tool set here, and then we also have our views toolbar on, which are these little buttons up here. We have our default tray over here. So to start with, I'm looking at my original AutoCAD work over here, and I'm going to start on C, and I'm going to use this top view to sort of draw a footprint of the object on the, would be the floor of the floor in SketchUp. So I'm just going to use my pencil. I'm going to click on the origin there. I'm going along an axis, and I'm going back on this side. That's the D, the depth of the object, and going back 4. And this, I'm just looking at the grids on the drawing that's over on the side, and then I'm coming over a total of well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. And you can roll out a little bit if you're off the screen. And coming down here, and I want to make sure I'm on parallel. I want to be parallel to that green axis. Even if it doesn't look parallel, make sure that the indicator is telling you that it comes back, and overall it comes back 2, and then it jogs along an edge, total of 3. And then it's coming again. I'm making sure I'm on my axis lines. It's coming over another 2 units in that direction, and it's closing there. So that's the footprint that we see here. Now, SketchUp has got some different tools, so I'm clicking my, do that again, using my push-pull. I'm clicking on the surface. I'm not holding any buttons down. I'm just dragging my mouse in the direction that I'm wanting the surface to go. And now I can just direct type in a distance. And I'm looking at the side view now of this, and I want to get the overall height of the object. And I see from this view over here that it is 3 high. So I'm just going to type in that distance. So now I have that overall shape. I'm going to cut away a few things that we don't need. For example, on the side view over here, I have this sort of trapezoidal shape, and so I need to cut away some of this wall that's right here. And so I can just use a pencil, and I can draw the edge of that in, and I see that it starts one down from the top. This corner right here, right there. It starts right here. It comes down before it starts. It comes down 1 unit on there. So I'm just going to create that point right there. And now I can draw that edge going over 1 unit. This is from the side view, and then it comes right down to that corner. That's this little thing right here. And so then we can go to our push-pull again. Now I'm going to get rid of that extra area. So now I have that little trapezoidal shape in the front. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll get the pencil, and we see that we have a channel over here. We have a channel that starts, I'm just using that bottom corner as a reference. It's going up on the edge, and that creates a point. And now I can come out along the axis, parallel to the axis 1, and I'm on the face going down 1. And then we switch over to our push-pull, push it all the way through, and now we have that. looking better. And we go back to our pencil, and we want to look at this cut corner. So on the front face, so here's the front, right? If I'm back in ISO here, and this is the front, and I have to draw another little line. Again, I'm just using this as a reference point, and I'm coming over my reference distance of 1. So now I have a little snap point there, and I'll do the same thing. I'll go down 1. Oops. And you can use your edit, undo, and you can draw again. And 1. Now I should have a little line there. I'm not sure if that came in correct. Let's just be sure. Crafted that line correctly. I want a point 1. And you can, if you get confused, you can always measure. And I see that's 1. It just looks funny because of the perspective. Now I can draw from green point to green point, and then use my push-pull. So you see, there I have my cutout shape. And sometimes you have to have the strategy on which face to draw first in SketchUp. I try to think about which one has like a foolproof footprint. And then, so now I've put it back into the ISO home view, and I'm going to enlarge that just a little bit for the export. And you'd want to save that drawing in as a SketchUp drawing, but then we're going to export it as a 2D graphic. And I've already saved this one before, so we'll just call it SketchUp. And we'll call it Rev2 export. And now we can go over to AutoCAD. Bring that in here. And I'm on layer 0. Go over to my insert tab, go to attach, and I'll find my Rev2. Now this doesn't have any smart scaling going with it, so we'll just accept it the way it is. We'll put it in here on a corner and give it a scale factor. It's asking me for a scale factor of 1, and I'm just going to hit return or enter. So that was scale factor 1. Like I said, there was no intelligence to that. Then we got to bring this down to some size that fits in our box. So I'm just guessing about right there. And that seems good enough. Now we're supposed to center both of these groups. We're supposed to center that group, and we're supposed to center that. So I'm going to use a new layer, just that's got some color on it. So just want to make that one current. Turn that off. And maybe I should use a different layer. And then we're going to use our rectangle tool to create 2 rectangles. One of the rectangles is going to be around these objects, right? That's my rectangle. It's my centering. It's a temporary centering object. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this, because this graphic object doesn't have a geometric center the way it's drawn. So I'm just going to use the rectangle, which does have a geometric center. And put it around that. And then I also have to have a rectangle. This is just temporary, around my frame. If I hadn't drawn those with rectangles, if I had drawn those with lines, then they also wouldn't have the geometric center. So now I have something that I can use my geometric snap on, a geometric center snap. And we're only going to be using that one snap, so I've taken everything else off. And now actually it goes pretty quick. Just have to be careful about what you're doing. But I'm going to start the move command, and I'm going to move this object plus everything that's in it. So let me cross it. I don't want it. I don't want those. So I'm using my shift button to unselect those. And I'm done picking what's going to move. So I hit the space bar. And now I'm hovering over by that rectangle I drew. And I see that the geometric center snap has highlighted with the green circle around the asterisk. So it's ready to select. And so I click. And now it's moving the objects I picked. And I'm going to hover over the frame. And I see that its geometric center snap is now highlighted, ready to click. So I'm clicking. And I've moved the first group of selections to the frame geometric center, and I'm just going to do that again. I'm going to use my move command, and now make sure I'm getting both the 2D graphic and the frame, because the 2D graphic is its own object. And so I've selected my group, hit the space bar, and now I'm hovering on the rectangle that surrounds the 2D graphic to get its geometric center snap on. You can see the circle with the asterisk, clicking. And then now I'm hovering over the outer rectangle that's on the frame, and you can see its geometric snap is now highlighted, so I could snap. And so I've moved, and and you've got a few little things to straighten up. We gotta get rid of these. So that's how you move the 2D graphics into the AutoCAD drawing. So before we quit this view, we have to remove our extra centering boxes. So I'm just looking for that, and then there's one box there. Be careful not to get the graphics object, and then there's an object there. So this is sort of trash that I'm removing. And because the draw order had them on top of the other lines, I was able to select them. If I had trouble selecting those, I might have had to change the draw order. So now you have them centered and cleaned up. They'll be ready for printing. But we still have to go back now and finish this piece.